Now, our next mentor is Funny Women Award winner of 2007 and co-presenter of Channel 4's Tonightly Show. So please welcome the extremely glamorous, very funny and absolutely gorgeous Andy Osho. OK, so you won the Funny Women Award 2007, didn't you?
Right, yeah.
Do you want to tell us about that competition?
Well, it's a competition that's run all across the country, and it's... Any woman, any female comedian can enter. A lot of people do it for the first time. They try stand-up for the first time and enter the competition. And there's a few people that have been going a couple of years, and they're all put into the mix, and there's a big final at the Comedy Store in London. It's very glamorous.
So, would you suggest your pupil enters it?
I tell you, she's very funny. She is very funny, so I'd say yeah. But no, she's beyond competition. She's better than that.
She's
she should be playing the store.
So the address for that is funnywomen.com if you want to enter. OK, well, let's have a look who your pupil is.
OK.
Andy?
Hello.
Gabby, how are you?
How are you doing?
Great to meet you. Thank you so much for coming to make me funny.
Yeah, right, OK. After you.
This is a funny room.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling funny already. In terms of her material, I would probably suggest that Gabby sticks to what she knows. That's what most comics start out talking about.
Even just a list of my sister's ex-lovers and boyfriends is quite comical.
Okay.
Because she's currently going out with a German flamenco guitarist called Elvis. This is the God's Gospel Truth. She lives with
Elvis?
Elvis, yeah.
Right, okay.
Who's a German flamenco guitarist.
Yeah, yeah.
And an unemployed German flamenco guitarist at the moment because he's just lost his job.
So he's just a German then, isn't he? You judge your performance on how they're responding, and hopefully, you know, you have a nice conversation with them involving you talking and them laughing. Yeah.
I prefer more people. You know, there's the intimacy of making eyeball contact with you, and you know, kind of like trying to look somewhere else. Actually, I want to please you, so I'm kind of looking at you, going, "Is this okay? Is it good?" Yeah. So yeah, that's. Although that's rubbish because of course I'm stopping.
I've been outside, and you know what?
You know when this hits you on the head, it really hurts.
You are the funniest stand-up comedian.
But she just needs to get on top of the material.
Suddenly, I feel completely different. Have I still got my clothes on? I feel completely nosed.
And consider her jokes to be notes to remind herself, rather than to learn it like a script.
Bit like reading. Oh, thank you.
Stand-up comedy book.
I haven't got this one.
If, by any slim chance, it's not going her way, a bit of banter with the crowd's always good.
Kevin Day said to me, he said, "Is it for charity?" I said, "Yeah." He said, every time somebody heckles, he said, "Just say, that's one life support machine we have to turn on. One small child is dead." I started being silly, telling about, I've got quite a lot of eggs in storage.
Right, okay, as you do.
Well, we had IVF, you see. So
I see.
So we got. So I got
meant then.
No.
I was thinking like organic, free-range something.
You said if you died that I would want to have more of your children. Yeah. That was a reason to keep the eggs in storage.
Of course.
See, doesn't even think that's. Doesn't even
it's
think.
It's just sound logic.
Yeah. I've always loved Sting. He's my kind of fantasy shag. You know, you're allowed to have the person that you know. Should you meet them, you're allowed to have sex with them, obviously. So Sting's there, and I said, "Sting's here." So Kenny went, "Oh, go and have a chat with him." So I went over and said, "Hi," and he's like, "Hello." My old co-host, you once went to a football match with him a few years ago. And the look of lack of recognition on Sting's face was bewildering.
Like, there's stuff about performance and microphone technique and things like that, which I don't worry about the joke writing stuff, because that's all sort of technical.
You've done that.
Yeah, exactly. you got that covered. I think she's going to have really good material. She's going to have no problems, nothing to worry about, so she'll be fine.
Kenny is there grinning proudly. Kenny, how do you think she'll do?
I think she'll be great.
Yeah? Are you confident?
I'm very proud of her.
Well, she's a very funny lady, isn't she?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know yet.
I'm building her up. OK, please welcome to the stage Gabby Logan.
Thank you very, very much. It's wonderful to be here this evening. Just before I came out tonight, I was reminded, people always say to me, don't you feel guilty, you know, you're a mum, you've got young children and you work. And just before I came out, my kids came up to me and they looked at me with their big, gorgeous eyes and they said, "Mum, where are you going tonight?" I said, "Tonight, kids, I'm going to help the poor and needy of Africa and India." Yes, he's feeling guilty now. Actually, I only just got back from a ski holiday last night with my husband. I tried to come back with somebody else's. I'm not very good at skiing. Last year I had a terrible year. I broke my leg in 2 places, Val d'Isère and Chamonix. This year, the trip was all downhill. But actually, I quite like hospitals. Did that groan hurt? Did that hurt? I quite like hospitals for some bizarre reason. I had a long time in there when I had my kids. I was induced, which was a pain. And after about an hour or so, I thought, this is it, you know? I can feel it, the contractions are happening. So I walked up to the reception desk, and behind it was this gorgeous old West Indian midwife. I thought, she looks wise. I said, I think I'm in labour. Yes, dear, that's why you're here. Yeah, fine. I went back to my room, I ran a bath, because that's what they do on the films. They run a bath, don't they? And they look at it and stuff. Nothing happened. So I was now in agony. I went back and I said, look, I need something, a paracetamol? No. I thought, right, I'm ringing my husband because he started all this. So he turned up, ex-international sportsman. I thought, he'll be good for the motivational stories. They'll get me through the contractions. 3 hours of motivational stories we did. I had to stop then, I'd run out of things to say. Then my mum arrived after about 12 hours. I thought, good, we can begin now. My mum's a special lady. She was married to a footballer, my dad, so she's kind of the original wag. She makes posh spice look sloppy. She was a very inventive mother. She learnt a way of carrying her children like this. This meant she could have a manicure, polish her nails, and not smudge them. There was one near miss. She almost dropped my sister on the floor. Oh, my God, I nearly smudged my nails. But she was a lovely woman. She was into the kind of, you know, the other side. She liked the idea that there was something out there. We lost my brother 17 years ago. It's not very funny, I realise, on its own. And something happened afterwards. Little paper clips appeared in the most unusual places. You'd open the bed, and there'd be a paper clip on the pillow. You'd go and open the car, and there'd be one on the dashboard. You'd bite in a ham sandwich and want to get stuck in your teeth. Now, we took this seriously as a message that he was OK. Either that or he was haunting W.H. Smith. But my mum actually kind of would take this one step further. She'd ring me up. I'm just in a stationery shop, and on the floor in front of me is a paperclip. Or she'd say, I've opened my mail, 2 bits of paper held together by a paperclip. She loves a coincidence, you know. I ring her up, hi, Mum, how are you? Oh, my God, I was just thinking about you, what a coincidence. No, Mum, that's not a coincidence. I'm your daughter, I ring you twice a day, every day. A coincidence is when you're thinking about Osama bin Laden, the phone rings and he's on the other end. So Mum's there. Mum's there. Kenny's there, I'm there, we're ready now. I can give birth to her first grandchildren, Kenny's first children, I think. They come out within 16 minutes. Beautiful, it's a beautiful birth, but then I start to bleed to death. They press the panic button in the room, the lights go up, the whale music goes off, the lavender's pushed to one side. It's like an extra scene from Ben-Hur. People are running around everywhere. It's going crazy. They're wheeling me out the room, blood trailing. I'm going down the corridor. We pass the waiting room. My mum's there. Oh, my God, I was just thinking of you. What a coincidence. And it's that moment, you know, you've seen it so many times on Holby City. You feel compelled to say it. I'm going in and out of consciousness. So I looked up. Mum, oh, my God, am I going to die? And the midwife says, no. Well, of course she does. She's not going to say, well, actually, yes, you are bleeding to death. But if we just left you here in the corridor, we'd have loads of forms to fill in. There'd be tons of rigmarole. The Daily Mail would come down as like a ton of bricks. So I go into theatre, the lights are up, there's tons of people all over the place. It's all very lovely. They introduce themselves to me. Hi, my name's John, I'm the blood clinician. I'm Sue, I'm the anaesthetist. I'm Sergei, the porter. And I'm Chloe, hair and nails your mum sent me. So I'm lying there with my legs in stirrups. It's the most undignified moment of my life, and the obstetrician is sewing away at the other end as the blood's being pumped into my body. I'm sure I've got the Bay and Tapestry inside me. Then Kenny comes in, dressed in scrubs, looking like George Clooney on a bad day. And then the babies are wheeled in. They're crying. That's supposed to make me want to live. And Kenny bends down next to me, and he puts his head next to mine. It's a real tender moment. He's stroking my head, and he looks up and he says, have you guessed what it is yet? It's your designer vagina. But you know what? There was more than just that was designer. Because I reckon I got Victoria Beckham's blood. I got 4 pints of blood, and I'm pretty sure it was from her, because 10 days later, I was back in my jeans. The Daily Mail was outraged. They had a picture of me 2 days before I gave birth, and a picture of me 2 weeks afterwards. How did she lose this much weight? I gave birth to 2 babies. Well, actually, bashing the Daily Mail is an easy laugh, isn't it? But actually, I actually think there is something in organ memory. You know, when you get an 8-year-old girl and she gets the heart of an 80-year-old man, and 2 weeks after her transplant, she starts smoking Woodbines, hanging out in Ladbrokes, farting a lot. Well, I think it's the same with blood, because aside from the weight loss, I started doing other bizarre things. I was lusting after David Beckham. I wore 6-inch heels to play with the kids. I went on a world tour with a 5-piece girl band. I stopped smiling. And of course, the clincher for me, well, I felt compelled to name the kids after the place they were conceived. Prestatyn and Travelodge. Thank you very much, ladies. You've been a fabulous audience. Thank you.
You so enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yeah, secretly I did.
You did?
I did.
Any hankerings to do it again in the comedy club?
You know what, it was much more. They were lovely. You were so nice. Thank you so much. I didn't know I had so many relatives. It was so... No, it was so lovely, actually. They were so generous. And, you know, no, I'm not saying I'll do it again, but it was great. Really enjoyed it.
And I want to know, how did you come up with the material?
We just
chatted.
Yeah, we chatted. She's terribly funny anyways, and she talks a lot, so there was just loads of stuff came out, and it was just all really funny. Like, just as she's talking naturally, just loads and loads of funny jokes came out. So I was just like, OK, right, so slow down, slow down.
Did you write it between you?
No. I mean, Gabby wrote it. I was just making notes.
Yeah.
I was the secretary. I was the comedy secretary.
Andy was going, that's good, that's good, that's good. But then I went away this week. I did genuinely go skiing, and so poor Kenny, every night I was there with a hairbrush. And,
Andy still laughed as well. That's love. Please give it up for Andy and Gabby.
Thank you.
Well done.